Or wadiwasi. Never heard of that one. That sounds like some kind of a sauce you put on your Chipotle burrito. Hello everyone and welcome back to day 3 of our owls. Today I'm so excited because it's my favorite subject, Defense Against the Dark Arts, which maybe I shouldn't say because if I do really badly on this, I'm going to look like a fool, but that's okay because confidence is key. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe because I will be doing this for every subject that the Owls has, so you don't want to miss out on any of that. Now, let's get to the action. Also, yes, I am wearing a Harry Potter hat. All right, so this test is 30 questions, so it's definitely the biggest one that we've done so far, so I'm so excited. I'm glad it's my favorite subject. How many unforgivable curses are there? 1, 4, or 3? 3. We have the one where we can control people, one where we kill them, and one where we torture them. What is the incantation of the spell that can expel a boggart? Descendium, Ridiculous, Mos Morde, or Wadiwasi? Never heard of that one. That sounds like some kind of a sauce you put on your Chipotle burrito. But we know it's Ridiculous. Lupus totus well. Which of these is not a Gilderoy Lockhart book? Can we just take a look at how they make Gilderoy Lockhart look? Like, that is not a guy who is going to make witches freak out. Gross. Okay, which of these is not a Gilderoy Lockhart book? Dating with Dementors, Voyages with Vampires, Wanderings with Werewolves, and Travels with Trolls. Now, if you remember, we know that we found out that Trolls was one of his subjects that he talked about. Makes sense that we have something about werewolves. I'm going to say Dating with Dementors. I feel like he wouldn't want to talk about dating because he wants to stay like the single bachelor, so he wouldn't want to ruin his vibe. So I'm going to say that Dating with Dementors is not one of his stories. Yay! Okay. Which incantation would you use to disarm an opponent? Look, as Harry Potter, I know the one spell that he knows, and that's Expelliarmus, but just for fun, let's see what the other choices would be. Stupefy, Protego, or Alohomora, and then Expelliarmus. So, look, Harry knows one spell, and that is what he's got. Although he still did well in Defense Against Dark Arts. He beat Hermione in it. This is the one subject that he beat her in, so he's doing something. Which mark did Harry achieve in his Defense Against the Dark Arts Owl examination? Okay, we know that he got the best in this one. So exceeds expectations is what I would believe it would be. Although outstanding would be the best that you could get, so it would be that, right? Yes, okay, that one tricked us because I thought it was going to go in order from top to bottom, and it had exceed expectations, outstanding, poor, acceptable. We had to be a little close on that one. How many times did Tom Riddle apply to be the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor? Guys, I'm not sure about this. Okay, so the choices are once, never, 3 times, or twice. I know that he talked to Dumbledore about it, but part of me thinks that he didn't even like really apply, and maybe he just like wanted to strong arm Dumbledore into letting him do it. So did he maybe never even? I think it's either never or once. I don't see him trying multiple times because I feel like his pride would be hurt. But Slytherins are ambitious. I'm gonna say once. When he graduated, he would have done it. Twice. Wow, that's surprising to me. I wouldn't think that he would be like humble enough to do that. Okay, next question. Lockhart often liked to make Harry act out scenarios in his classes. Which of the following has Harry not played? I don't remember this, guys. Oh no. Okay, a mummy, a yeti with a head cold, a vampire, a Transylvanian villager. I'm gonna say vampire. That one seems a little too simple. I feel like he wouldn't use that one. I'm gonna do vampire. It was a mummy, guys. Oops. Where would you find a kappa? Shallow ponds, thick snow, deep lakes, tall grass. Okay, so it looks kind of like a monkey. I'm not familiar with it though. Because it looks like it has almost a cup on the top of its head, that would make me think that he would want to be around water. So I'm gonna say shallow ponds. Okay, all right, we got it right. In what year are Defense Against the Dark Arts students taught about Horcruxes? No, they never taught you. So the choices were never, 5th year, 4th year, or 6th year. They never do. Trying to trick me. They do not teach you about Horcruxes. Or else Harry wouldn't have gone to all those Slughorn parties. Know what I'm saying? What power does mastering the art of occlumency give you? You can manipulate others to do what you want. You can penetrate the minds of others. You can defend the mind against external penetration. You can implant false memories in other wizards' minds. So, a legamens. I know it's legamens and occlumency. But which one is which? I think occlumency is where you have to keep someone out. Because when you're talking about Snape, they always said that he was a very powerful legamens or legamens. I'm sorry about pronunciation, which means that he would have the ability to go into other people's thoughts. And I think that he had occlumency lessons with Harry, so that means that he was trying to keep Voldemort out of his mind, which means that you can defend the mind against external penetration. Yes, okay, we got there, guys. In which year are Harry and his classmates taught about non-verbal spells? Second year, sixth, fifth, or fourth? I don't remember them learning about nonverbal. I feel like it was just kind of implied in all of them that they should know how to do these things without having to say it. I know that nonverbal is more serious magic, so you would think that they would want them to do that when they're maybe taking owls, so I'm going to say 5th year. Darn it, what was it? 6th year. Wow, they wait even longer. I feel like that's a long time. You need to know nonverbal magic to defend yourself. I feel like that should be par for the course, but okay. In Gilderoy Lockhart's quiz about himself, what is his favorite color? Okay, it was something that went well with his eyes. So was that lilac, right? I think it was. Something that went well with his eyes. But the choices are violet, turquoise, lilac, and periwinkle blue. It would have to be lilac, right? Why else would I remember that? He said it went well with his eyes. Okay, good, because Hermione knew it, and I remember that. What will the reductor curse, reducto, do to an object? Make it disappear, make it melt, cause it to shrink, and blast it into pieces. We know that this is cause it to shrink because a lot of times in the books, and even like fan fiction, read a lot of fan fiction, they use it because when they're carrying things, they always have to make it smaller. So cause it to shrink. Was blasted into pieces. I guess it's a curse. Why would a curse be something that could just make something smaller? What am I thinking of? I'll have to look that up after, guys, because that's going to bother me. Okay, let me know down below if you know what I was thinking of. Which defense against the dark arts professor set a sort of obstacle course practical exam? Severus Snape, Gilderoy Lockhart, Alastor Moody, Remus Lupin. That seems like something that Lupin would do. I haven't read the books in a while, and I feel like super ashamed because I feel like these are probably very easy questions to people who read the books over and over again. But at the same time, it makes sense that Snape would want them to use practical skills. But it has to be someone who's there till the end, right, in order to take exams. I'm going to say Lupin. Okay, it was. Good. The Patronus charm is known to fight Dementors, but what other magical creatures does it work against? An Occamy, a Demiguise, a Lethifold, or a Nundu? To me, Occamy makes it sound like it's something to do with the mind, right? Which means that you would want it to be something that could be powered by joy or memories or something like that, which makes me think that maybe Patronus would work on it. So I'm going to say that. Ugh, wrong. A Lethifold. I've never even heard of that. I feel so ashamed of like my Harry Potter knowledge right now. I'm not familiar with that. Which of these spells requires more than just a simple counter curse to reverse it? The full body bind curse, leg locker curse, levicorpus, petrification. Okay, petrification, we know that you can't just do a spell for it because they have to have mandrake juice. So yeah, that's more of a process. People were in the hospital for months with that in chambers. So let's do that one. Okay, we got it. We're on question 17, so we're over halfway there, guys. Thank you for doing this with me because I find this really fun, so I hope you do too. What did Professor Quirrell's classroom smell of? Sweat, incense, onions, garlic. I feel like it was incense, right? No, that's Trelawney. Okay, they're trying to trick us. Okay. Garlic? Do we think garlic? I don't remember this, but it would make sense it would be garlic, right? Like something weird smelling. Okay, we got that. That was a total guess, I'm gonna be honest. Which mark did Hermione achieve in her Defense Against the Dark Arts OWL examination? Poor, acceptable, outstanding, exceeds expectations. We know she didn't do as well as Harry, who got outstanding, so she would get exceeds expectations. Used right to the incantation. Relatio will produce what? The revulsion rings? I said leg locker because, like, lashing rope. Great. What happens if someone were to read the cursed book Sonnets of a Sorcerer, instantly die, never stop reading it, get sucked into the pages, speak in limericks for the rest of their life? I'm going to say limericks because sonnets implies rhyming, that makes sense. Instantly die seems dramatic. Never stop reading it. Get sucked into the pages. I feel like other books do that I've read about. So speak in limericks. Great, thanks. When Amicus Caro took over Defense Against the Dark Arts, what did he make the students do? Hex Muggleborns, practice the curse on each other, Cruciatus curse on each other, torture other students' pets, invent new curses to try on each other. I'm going to say that you would hex Muggleborns because we know that when Neville came back down the tunnel to meet the trio, he was talking about how the Caros were doing terrible things, and I feel like they would want to focus on the Muggleborns, so that is why I'm going to say it. Nope, they tested on each other. Just kidding. Great. How many rolls of parchment did Snape assign the students for their essay on werewolves? 4, 1, 3, 2. Turn to page 394. I don't think that's going to be the answer, but it's fine. Let's say 2. Cool. Correct. A mixture of powdered silver and dittany can be used to cure an infant of lycanthropy, bring a werewolf back to its human form, create a potion that makes you unappealing to werewolves, cause a fresh werewolf bite to seal. There's no cure for it, so it can't be that. So it's not going to help one go back to human form or cure an infant. Create a potion that makes you unappealing. I feel like they would use wolfsbane. Cause a fresh werewolf bite to seal. That would have to be it because dittany is used in a lot of healing potions. So that makes sense. So I'm going to say that one. Yes, I'm quite proud of that one. All right. Which of the following taught defense against the dark arts at Ilvermorny? Harold Mincham, Rodolphus Lestrange, Rhinox Stewart, Galeta Merrythought. We know it's not Lestrange. Merrythought's too nice of a name. So it's either Mincham or Stewart, and I think it's going to be Stewart because that's a very, American name, and it makes sense that they would have something, pretty common at the beginning. So I said that. Yes, great. Alistair Moody once demonstrated the Imperious Curse by putting it on students. What did he make Dean Thomas do? Do a series of astonishing gymnastics, imitate a squirrel, hop 3 times around the room, singing the national anthem, or jump onto the desk. Imitate a squirrel is too close to ferret, which he did later. Jump onto a desk is not fancy, so it's either national anthem hopping 3 times around the room or gymnastics. I don't know what the anthem is. Don't remember any of this. I'm going to say gymnastics. Nope, it was the national anthem. I think it's probably just because I don't know the British national anthem that I didn't know that, so oops. So now we're on question 26. What does Wilbert Slinkard's textbook Defensive Magical Theory say on the subject of counter-jinxes? They are improperly named, they are often ineffective, they are overused, they are shamefully lazy. So Defensive Magical Theory is probably something that you want to make sure that you're comfortable with. It's like a second nature and it can be done quickly. So my thought would be that if someone who's writing a dark arts book, not to be stereotypical because I love the Defense Against the Dark Arts, it's my favorite subject, it makes sense to my mind that they would say it's lazy because if you're just doing a counter curse, you're just kind of canceling what they do. You're not putting any harm on them, and then you're 2 steps back from where you're supposed to be. So I am going to say that they are shamefully lazy. Darn it, they are improperly named. I went a little too Slytherin on that one. I apologize. Harry's Defense Against the Dark Arts Owl examination involved an obstacle course of dark creatures. Which of these didn't feature? Blast-Ended Scroot, Boggart, Grindylow, Redcaps. I don't think it would have had the Grindylow. That's my thought. I'm going to say that I'm going purely off of I just don't remember that being in the exam. Oh, darn it. It was a Blast-Ended Scroot. Hagrid just showed them those by the hut. Okay. According to Ron, which teacher told the Defense Against the Dark Arts class about the curse of the bogies? Cornelius Quirrell, Gilderoy Lockhart, Remus Lupin, Alistair Moody. According to Ron, which teacher told... Here's my issue. Some of these questions are about what happened in the books, and while I understand, obviously, it's on Pottermore, but it doesn't really, ask you about the Defense Against the Dark Arts itself. So I'm having kind of a problem with this, because some of this is, obscure and not really Defense Against the Dark Arts knowledge. It's just, who said this at this point on what page, Whatever, it's fine. Might just be bitter. So, Curse of the Bogies. Told the Defense Against the Dark class. Okay, so Defense Against the Dark Arts, he wouldn't have had Quirrell, so that can't be the answer. Lockhart wasn't teaching anything useful, so I doubt that. Lupin might have taught about bogies. That would have been 3rd year. But would he have talked about curses at that point? I think he was talking more about, defense. I'm going to say Moody would have taught him that. Darn it, it was Quirrell? How? He wasn't there for... Whatever. It's fine. I'm fine. It would have been their 1st year. I forgot because in the movies you don't ever see them with Quirrell really. Fine, it's fine, I'm fine. According to Newt Scamander's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which of these creatures is classified as the most dangerous? Sphinx, Yeti, Griffin, Chimera. I have never read Fantastic Beasts. I am sorry. I apologize. Seems like this would be a magical creatures question, not Defense Against Stargates, but it's fine. My guess would be Sphinx because it's playing with your mind and, you know, it has greater consequences if you're wrong. So I'm going to say Sphinx based on literally nothing. Oh, the Chimera. Great. Cool. I'm fine. Everything's fine. In which year were the unforgivable curses classified as unforgivable by law? Okay, we got 1861, 1775, 1717, 1914. This is tough. I don't know this. I'm trying to just use like context clues. My guess is they weren't unforgivable for that long. I feel like it would have been fairly recent. Not 1914 recent. I'm going to say... Or do we think it's 1775 because it was when Americas was being discovered and maybe like British wizards were doing weird things to Americans because it was a new place? So for that reason, I'm going to say 1775, just because I feel like there could have been some intercontinental hijinks going on. 1717. Okay. Well, what can you do? I got 15 out of 30. Oh, no, 16 out of 30 because I pushed the wrong one. I am very upset with that score. I am not okay with it. To be fair, a lot of those questions were like very specific things. I haven't read the books in a while or watched the movies in a while, so I'm fine. I'm just gonna talk to myself and like tell myself that that's why. Okay. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe because I will be doing this for more subjects in the following days. I don't want you to miss any of that. Subscribe.